Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're watching the Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Rowdy Gaines is here with us, an International Hall of Fame swimmer, International Swimming League on CBS Sports. Rowdy from Budapest. How are you, man?
Good, DJ. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing really well. It's a weird and wacky year, but hey, at least we have some sports. At least we have swimming. I'm sure you didn't imagine being in Budapest, but what's everything been like so far?
It's exceeded my wildest dreams, to be honest with you. I don't want to get too corny, but everybody's just been wonderful here. The people from Hungary are some of the nicest people I've ever met. I came here back in 2017 for the World Championships, and it was wonderful then. And nothing has changed. The facility is literally I think it's the best facility I've ever been to in my life, and I've been to a lot of pools over my career, believe it or not. And all the protocols for safety have been just magnificent. So no complaints at all on my end whatsoever.
That's awesome. And it's really great to just be able to watch swimming, especially everything going on in the world right now. So, who are some of the swimmers that have impressed you the most so far?
Well, the great thing about the ISL is the fact that we have such great diversity with all the teams and with all the international contingent. We in our country obviously like to focus on the Americans as we should, but we really have some of the best international swimmers in the world today. And I mean, when you think about what we did coming in, it's sort of like I thought it was going to be like preseason football, like everybody hasn't swum in 9 months and it's spring training and you're going to see slow times and bad pitches and the quarterback's going to be terrible. But it's really surprised me how incredibly fast it is. I think most of the swimmers were itching to swim fast. So, you have the usual suspects like, three-time Olympic gold medalist Ryan Murphy and Tom Shields and Caleb Dressel and Lily King. But there are a lot of really good international swimmers for me that will help me certainly during the broadcast next summer in Tokyo. So just learning the names of and the ideas behind why they swim and do what they do with a lot of the international swimmers like a Sarah Schoistrom or Chad Leclos. Both of them have won Olympic gold medals, and both of them are here as well.
So, this obviously helps you in your Olympic prep. How do you think this helps the swimmers come next summer?
I think it's so invaluable. You have to remember, like most of us around the world, we have literally been shut out for 9 months. A lot of these swimmers didn't swim at all for 2 months, 3 months. I was talking to Michael Andrew, one of the best swimmers in the world, a couple of days ago, and he still is only allowed 45 minutes a day in his own pool. So, these athletes have gone through hell and back the last 9 months, and for them, I think they're just so appreciative to have a platform to be able to swim and do it week in and do it week out. I think for the American audience, if you think about what the NBA and NHL has represented with a bubble-like format, that's what we're doing, but we just happen to be doing it in Budapest. That's literally what it is. It's a bubble here in Budapest for 6 weeks. It's not 3 months like the NBA or NHL, but it's sort of like that.
You're somebody that lives and breathes swimming all year round. For a lot of people, they kind of tune in during the Olympics, they tune out. What does it mean to you that you can have swimming in the conversation right now ahead of the Olympics, as opposed to just, once during the winter, once during the summer?
It. I think this is an idea, DJ, that I think it's here to stay. Listen, swimming. Yeah, we don't want to. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Swimming is not football or any of the major sports. But it is a sport that people, as you said, love to watch during the Olympics. And this gives that opportunity for these athletes to be a part of a team-like atmosphere. A lot of these kids have come from the college format. Most of them have, at least the American side. Even a lot of international kids went to school in America. So they're kind of used to that team type format, a dual meet format. And I think most of them will tell you that to be able to have this in their arsenal year in and year out, I think is a big commitment for the International Swim League to be able to do this for our athletes. And I think sooner or later, I think people are going to figure it out and tune in more and more once they just started last year. This is only the second season. And I think everything needs a while to kind of grasp the mindset of the American public. But I know the American public loves swimming during the Olympics, and I think they're going to love this.
It just needs a little time to get into the lexicon, put it in front of people, get them talking about it because the interest is there. And I think there's certainly the interest in Team USA right now because you mentioned Ryan and Caleb and Lily and some of the other competitors. How would you describe the state of Team USA, both with the men and the women right now heading into the Olympics next summer?
I mean, I think they're in a great position. Again, we're without the greatest of all time, the literal GOAT, and that's Michael Phelps, and we've had him since 2000. And 2021, we won't have Michael anymore. So that certainly is going to DJ. It's gonna be noticed. We'll talk about it. But if you think about this, USA has been number one in the world of swimming since 1956.
Wow.
No other country, no other sport can claim that kind of excellence for 64 straight years. So I think we'll survive without Michael. It's not going to be a lot of fun, but it will definitely survive because there's a lot of great names. I mean, we have the Katie Ledecky and Simone Manuels and Caleb Dressel. I mean, Caleb Dressel's got a chance to win 7 gold medals next summer. So certainly we still have the names and the attitude that the USA is still number one in the sport.
You mentioned the several decades of USA success. You got to contribute to that with multiple gold medals. What does it mean to you that you got to be an Olympian and that you have those medals forevermore?
Well, it means a lot because in our sport, we don't have a World Series or Super Bowl, right? I mean, we have the Olympics really as the pinnacle of success. That's our Super Bowl. So for me, it was certainly, a dream come true. I had made the 1980 Olympic team. And so I kind of empathize with a lot of the pain that a lot of these athletes have felt over the last 9 months and the fact that I had something taken away. It was never given back, so to speak. And the fact the boycott of 1980, we suffered through the boycott and we never had another Olympics the next year. Once we boycotted, we had to wait 4 more years. So I can understand what they're going through. I can certainly feel their pain. Completely different reasons, obviously, but it's something that for me, I certainly took great pride in, representing my country and to be able to do it at home. In 1984, people might not remember, but the Olympics were in Los Angeles, and to have an Olympics in your home country is sort of like playing the Super Bowl at home. So for me, it was a big thrill.
That's really cool. And there've just been so many great Olympic moments over the past few decades. You mentioned Michael Phelps before. And listen, you've seen the greatest swimmers. You just called him the GOAT. What was it like to see his great rise, his fall, and even what he's doing now with being so open and honest about his mental health? What's it just been like to see that guy over the past couple of decades grow?
Yeah, it's it's certainly been a huge honor in my life to be able to call every single Olympic race that he's ever done. In fact, I'm going up to New York next month to talk to him about a lot of his races. We're gonna meet up with my partner in Tokyo, Dan Hicks, and we're gonna kind of go over each one of those races. But he meant a lot to our sport. He's our Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, for lack of a better word, just because of what he brings to the sport and what he brought to the sport. I remember him as a 15-year-old punk kid in Sydney, Australia in 2000, and he grew into a true team leader for USA. And it all culminated in 2016 in Rio, where he was counted on not so much for what he did in the pool, which he did amazing, but really what he did out of the pool. And that is to provide the kind of leadership that we really needed in Rio. So it's been really cool to see him grow from a boy to a man.
It's been great to see you grow as well, Rowdy. Thanks so much for jumping in. Enjoy the time in Budapest, and we'll be watching. All right, man?
Thank you, buddy. Take care.